Hello folks, Scott here with my November 2016 paper pumpkin kit. This month our kit is the Wonderful Winterland November 2016. This kit contains supplies for 8 cards and envelopes. I think it should say 8 note cards because these are very small cards, 4 1/4 by 3 inches. These are cute little scene cards. Only a few Stampin' Up! Colors this month. Dapper Denim and Pear Pizzazz, Pool Party, and Soft Sky. 2 of them were the Stampin' Spots that we got in the kit. Pear Pizzazz, Dapper Denim, yet another green. I've been a member of Paper Pumpkin for 10 months now, and in the past 10 months, we've gotten 4 greens now. 2 Stampin' Spots is always nice to get in your Paper Pumpkin kit. The Wonderful Winterland stamp set. This very small stamp set, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, with wishes for a beautiful season, may your days be merry and bright, the houses and the trees that are the same as the die cuts for the cards. Small stamp set, very small sentiments. And of course I made a card according to the instructions. These are very cute cards. I find the colors very bland. This is nice. The sentiments are so small on the stamp set that I actually stamped this one upside down. I just didn't notice it was upside down till I stamped it. So of course I had to stamp it again on an extra piece of white cardstock and make a little tag and add it on the inside, covering up my upside down sentiment. This is a piece of vellum over the back, which kind of gets lost. If you don't know it's there, you can't really see that it's there. These die cuts, since the card is small, these die cuts are very small. These trees, especially this tree right here, is very fragile. That trunk on that tree, the only thing holding it to this last layer is that tiny wisp of a trunk. These trees have small enough trunks, tiny little trunks, easy to bend, easy to break. You can probably see right there the little wrinkles. You can see right there the little wrinkles where this trunk did bend. This is the Wonderful Winterland card, according to their instructions, with a little extra snow stamping on the back. The envelopes are very nice. The Dapper Denim, a place for an address. All of my alternates are larger cards. I tend to work in the A2 card range. So my first alternate card, I went with the Dapper Denim background. I cut up an envelope, used that for the back sky here, made a frame out of it. I embossed the star or snow stamp with white embossing powder. I actually put the vellum over the top of the last piece of the houses. Instead of in front of the sky and behind the houses, I put it in front of the sky and the houses. You notice I also covered up the hills on these 2 pieces with white cardstock, used the Dapper Denim to sponge a little shading on the bottom of those. And I added lights in the windows. It really bothered me that the windows were empty in the original card. I like the distance that the vellum gives that last layer in the back. I think that's nice. And of course, I love the pop of red. Please give me some color in my Christmas cards. I, of course, also went with a little glitter. This is my first alternate card. We could do a circular window as well. This is my second alternate card. This is some Jewel Tone Recollections cardstock. Die cut a circle. I flipped some of the houses and trees around. I again used the Dapper Denim envelope as my sky. White embossed the snow stamp. I did add yellow behind the windows and the doors. I only covered the second layer with white and did a little inking on the depression there. White gel pin stitching around the opening, a few sequins. The Merry Christmas sentiment is white heat embossed. This is a nice card. A lot more color going on. And with the window card, I had to, of course, I'm in a circle mood, so I made this lovely little ornament card. I knew I had this evergreen bough in my clip art stash, So I printed up the evergreen bough. I actually did some light embossing on that, clear embossing on some of the needles. I made a little ornament topper, strung it up with silver into the branches, did a circle cutout. There is acetate on the top of that, but no shaking inside, just to give it a sense of being a glass ornament or maybe a three-dimensional scene ornament. Again, used the Dapper Denim envelopes in the back, covered the windows again, and colored the trees in 2 different colors. I believe I used my alcohol markers for this. This is the Pear Pizzazz color. I did emboss the Pear Pizzazz with clear for the sentiment. Very nice ornament card. My 3rd alternate for the month. And then, yes, of course, we had to make a shaker card with a snow globe. I actually used some Flower Soft and some glitter as my snow in the snow globe, and it actually worked very well. I was very surprised. I was afraid it would get all staticky and caught up in there, but it moves very well, and I love it when it all pools down at the bottom in the same basic shape as that front layer with the trees. I did swap pieces around so that the 3 houses were on the left, the 1 house was on the right. I colored up the trees with a little bit of snow on them and little alcohol markers. Actually gave their trunks some color, a different sentiment. Let it snow. It is a snow globe. I did run the white and silver twine on the top and bottom here. Since I used a different sentiment on the front, inside I doubled up on the Happy Holidays with Wishes for a Beautiful Season, right on the inside with both the Pear Pizzazz and the Dapper Denim stamps. I have never used Flower Soft in a shaker card before, and it's nice to know that it actually works pretty good. I'm very happy with that. So my better half mentioned that the scene on this card seemed like an old stamp. So I created a little stamp card. My favorite part of this is my little red station wagon that's riding on the hill there. Again, I used the vellum over the top of the back layer and the background. I used my printer to print out a USA 13 cents on the vellum itself. I used some very light yellow paper, actually, to fill in the windows on the houses. The trees, of course, are all in the Pear Pizzazz with the added link of Stella on top of that. This is 3 die cuts of a stamp outline. The whole piece then put on this great green and blue glitter paper. Fun card. I love the little pop of red in the middle of it, I think says so much. And it does remind me of an old-fashioned stamp. So realizing, of course, that all of the pieces of this card are all 4 1/4 inches across, I decided to forego all the framing devices and make full cards. So I took the die cuts, cut out the hills in white with longer bases to them, and kind of moved the whole scene up on my card. This, again, is a different piece of Recollections Jewel Tone cardstock. I embossed just the star shapes, or the snowflake shapes, in the background. Colored these trees very dark to match my clip art Merry Christmas that I then colored with a nice ombre. Even having just a little bit more color and some larger features makes this card feel more festive to me. With Wishes for a Beautiful Season on, of course, white cardstock inside the colored card. I love this little clip art. So much fun. You can color it any color you want. Great fun. So if we pushed all of the houses and scene up to the top, then let's bring them all back down to the bottom and create a focal image above them all. So again, in my clip art files, I have this great clip art of Santa and his reindeer in front of a moon flying through the night sky. I love this card. I have to admit, I think this card is great. I did, of course, cover the windows. I did use my alcohol markers to color the trees a little bit more realistically than just flat. The Merry Christmas stamp barely fits here, barely fits here. I think if you look on the pictures of the instructions, you'll see that the little loopy here goes right off the edge of the paper. Barely fits in this scene, but I have to admit, I really like this card. It's covered with star glitter. So I also took the stamps and made a little Christmas tag with them. I just stamped the stamps on cardstock, cut them out, fussy cut them, created my own little scene on a little tag here. Merry Christmas I stamped in red on a nice gray background, glued the whole thing on some green glitter cardstock. I added this sentiment, from our house to yours. I was a little surprised that a card kit that featured houses didn't have this as an option for a sentiment, but nice and small, from our house to yours. Almost looks like it came with the kit. To and from on the back, I did use the silver and white cord for the top. A nice tag, just using the stamps from the kit. I do have plenty of supplies left over. Of course, a number of envelopes, a number of the card bases, plenty of sequins. I do have 4 sheets of the vellum left. This is really nice vellum, really thick, very nice vellum. I wish they were bigger pieces. And I really love, I have to admit, my favorite part of this whole card kit are these miniature dimensionals. Love these. I think they're great fun. I do have plenty of the silver and white cord left. I have to admit that I was a little disappointed with this kit. I was expecting my first Christmas kit with Paper Pumpkin to be a wow and really excite me. I went online and looked up last year's Paper Pumpkin kit from 2015. And last year they had 10 cards that were A2 sized that actually had some color on them. Regardless, the kit did inspire me. It did spark my creativity. That's what it's for. I enjoy the cards that I made here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, share it, pin it, post it, whatever you can do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great holiday, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all very much, and happy Paper Pumpkin!